Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and need a drink. So we're gonna go to the triumvirate of taps here at Third Generation Brewing, and we're gonna get Root Beer 21. Give it a nice pour there. This beer has been fantastic this year. But I digress. Let me get right into it. This very special episode is gonna be about loopholes. Don't you love them? I love them. I'm one of those guys that's a rules guy. You know, if you played a board game with me back in the day, you knew I was going to be a fucking stickler for following the rules. But that being the case, you know who really enjoys a good loophole? A rules guy. And I think we found one. A buddy of mine called me yesterday and told me about this loophole in the Wisconsin farming bill. And there's this thing called Delta 8. Now, the way I understand it, when the Wisconsin Farm Bill went through, you could grow hemp, but there was a very low amount of THC that's allowed. I guess Wisconsin, from what I heard, had their levels so low, farmers were having trouble keeping it in the range. So Wisconsin got a fairly low limit. But there ain't nothing in the law that says you can take a whole truckload of that stuff with a very tiny amount of THC and boil her down until there's enough THC to have a good time. And apparently that's what's happened in Wisconsin. So I thought, shit, I better get down there because, as with anything, as soon as the Republicans figure out what's happened, they're going to shut it down. Because, you know, they can say what they want about supporting businesses and industry and wanting people to make money. That might be here on their chart, but stopping someone from having fun is way up here. So even if they're helping the farmers out and they're expanding business and getting the tax base widened, that doesn't matter because people are having fun and no one's getting hurt. So we'll have to put a stop to that. So I thought I'm jumping in as quick as I can to get that legal Wisconsin buzz. So these are Delta 8 gummies. I got some gummy worms. Apparently you're not supposed to operate machinery after you eat them. So I don't have time to chainsaw now. I guess I got to stop that. So I'm doing this episode instead. Also got a cartridge. I like mango. It's a mango kush. I forgot kush is an indica. And an indica is one that makes you sleepy. You know, there used to be the big stereotypes of weed just, you know, fucking leveling you out. Nah, there's different strains, there's different effects. That's not always the case. But this guy apparently makes you sleepy. So, probably wasn't chainsawed anyway. And then, I got a pre-roll. I had to try it out. It's they roll them in these cones, so they start narrow with a little like a cardboard filter in the end, and then they widen out to a big fat tip, which I've already taken care of. Just the tip. So I thought, shit, let's burn a legal one, huh? This is the first on the show. Totally legal. They did say, keep your receipt in case you get harassed. Well, like I said, I got my labels, I got my receipt. And I thought, what could be better? Let's bust out the Cheech and Chong collection, huh? So I got the Cheech and Chong out. Got this in a recent buy. The debut. Fantastic. This, of course, the wedding album, if you couldn't tell. My personal favorite, Big Bamboo. Because, wait for it, giant rolling paper. Take that mother out and it's a huge rolling paper. And the thing about it is, these are rare as fuck. Because they didn't make it through the 70s. If you could find one on eBay, generally, there's chunks cut out where it was used in a big fat 70s style joint full of stems and seeds. Probably took you one that size back in the day. I don't know, Chappelle, or was it No, it was Louis C.K. talking about the science in this. He's like, yeah, I haven't smoked in how many years, and I believe his words were, I pulled a big 1970s jean jacket Bad Company hit, which isn't recommended. This, I don't know, I guess this, the flower, I don't know why I call them flower, it's a bud. Just like hops. I got hops growing out back. When they bloom, it's a big fat sticky bud. And you pick those and dry them. And that's closest cousin. But apparently the flower in this is CBD. Which explains why it tastes vaguely like rope. But I guess what they do is they take this and then they dip it in the Delta 8. That melt it down. Sticky stuff. So, yeah. Well, I tell you, it's doing the job. But like I said, I don't expect this little loophole in Wisconsin's Farm Bill to remain for long. The Republicans will find a way to kill it, I'm sure. Let me, you think I'm just fucking being anti-Republican? I'll have to do an episode on that one time. But, no, I'll cite you some case law. It ain't case law, but you know what I mean? Washington, D.C. I believe they voted to legalize there a handful of years back. Nice. But as the bill was about to go through, apparently one of the Republicans attached a thing that made it so, well, one, they were making it so that you'd have to have a DC ID. So only a resident of DC could purchase any of the things. So they don't want people coming through town and burning. So I can't remember. Anyway, the Republicans attached a bunch of shit to it, which restricted the piss out of it. But during this ban, I happened to be going to DC. So when we got to the hotel that night, I was reading some articles, and what do you know? There was a loophole. And I told you, man, I love a good loophole. So, the loophole is the Herbert. Whoa. Okay. That's gotta be more than CBD. Because this is like only my second beer of the day. Oof. Anyway, let me try to gain my composure and find my place. Regroup. Alright, here we go. Focus. So, damn. Holy shit. So, let me back the truck up a little bit. Even though I shouldn't operate machinery, I'm going to operate imaginary machinery. I'm put that fucker in R, let's back it up. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, here we go. We're back to DC. You know what? This went out and I'm okay with that. So, if you're just visiting town, you're not a resident of DC, you can't buy any of their fun stuff. But I went to the websites and I wanted to see, man, they had fun stuff. They had gummies, cookies, brownies, pre-rolls, you name it, they had it. But they can't sell it to you because you know you're from out of town. But I bet if you were to buy something else from this business, which there was so many. There was one that was art, like veterans art. I actually tried to do that. There was paintings and shit for sale, and you could buy a painting, and depending on what it was and how much it cost, you would get a free gift with your painting. And they would list all the gifts you would get. And say like a $300 painting, you might get a whole shitload of gifts. You might get 4 or 5 pre-rolls. You might get a container with a few cookies. You might get a bag of flour. You might get all these things. So I thought, fuck, I like a good loophole. So I started checking into it. It was like a Sunday night. I found one business that would do this. So I set it up. We're, of course, like out of some legal range where you can't pick it up. So I had to arrange a meeting like 8 blocks away at a Starbucks. And we're on like a bike tour. This poor bastard. This guy's like a history teacher off for the summer, pedaling bike tours. And he's got some big fat Wisconsin fucking meat cramming this thing full. And man, it had to take some work. And basically, I start rushing him back because I gotta go meet this guy at Starbucks, right? So we get back. I rush over to Starbucks, get in the car. Basically, can't even remember what I bought. I bought a bag. I bought one of those cloth 2-handle reusable bags. I paid like $100 for this bag. But it came with a couple packs of gummies, a pack of a couple of cookies, and some pre-rolls. So I thought, hey, what the hell? I'll take advantage of a good loophole. And I believe this has all since been shut down. So it was just this glorious little window where the loophole existed before it was snatched shut by fucking joy-stealing Republicans who just couldn't allow somebody else to have a good time without affecting another person. As George Carlin says, who isn't making life difficult for at least one other person. That's the criteria. It's my criteria. You get your Delta 8 and stay off the roads. Stay in the basement. Chill out and drink a beer. Man. Well, I think that did the job. So for Drinks with Ron, I'm Ron. Signing off.